Hey guys,
welcome back to another episode of Faith Over Fear podcast. You guys, I'm a little sick today. I feel like, I'm trying to get sick. I refuse to say that I'm sick because I don't want to say that, you know, but my throat's been a little, it's been hurting a little bit.
Scratchy.
Yeah, so if I sound scratchy, I'm literally, as I'm speaking, I started sounding scratchy. So if I sound scratchy, please excuse that. But Happy New Year's, guys.
Happy New Year's.
Right now, we're filming this before New Year's, but when it comes out, it's going to be past New Year's.
Yes.
So I hope you guys had great holidays, and I hope that you guys had fun on New Year's, and I pray that this year is filled with a lot of blessings for you guys.
Yes, that's true. I feel like this year, the previous year, 2024, has been such a great year. I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite memory of 2024?
Whoa, that question just came out of nowhere. My favorite memory of 2024. Now you making me think. Oh, I got one.
All right, say.
Our youth camp, our local youth camp.
That
was core memory right there.
I wasn't there, but just by what she told me, it was a very powerful event.
It was so powerful. Yeah. I've never experienced anything like it. Yeah. What about you?
So mine, I would say seeing this podcast flourish.
Oh, now you're making me feel. No, yeah, that's a good one.
So that has been such a big blessing. So I'm so grateful. We're both so grateful for you guys for making it possible. But mostly important, God made it possible. Yes. God is the one that's continuing this ministry. So we praise Him and we glorify Him. But thank you guys for tuning in, for the amazing, sweet comments. We read each and one of them. So we are so grateful for those comments, and we feel blessed, and praise God for all that you guys have received.
Yes.
But it's funny because the reason why I already know my answer, it is, that's my core memory. Because even whenever my friend answered me, that was my first answer. But just like you, I had to think about it. I was like, what was a good memory? You had to scan through the entire year. And so, but it's funny because I told him, I was like, apart from thinking of the good memories, I couldn't help but thinking of the bad memories. And so the reason why I mentioned those is because I feel like a good memory, it's not so much the tribulation, is being on the other side of the tribulation and what God did during that process. I feel like that's one of my top favorite memories as well for 2024. So that's why I feel very blessed. But I feel like, are you someone that does vision boards, that has goals, that writes them down, or what's your process with the new year? Or you're just more of kind of going to continue doing me?
I feel like I have never been a type of person to be vision boards. Yeah. But this year I'm gonna make a vision board, and I feel like this year I'm gonna set goals. Yes. Because I'm not usually that type of person, but I feel like I've changed so much that this year I want to do that,
Yeah, me too. Same here. I feel like I've only done it once, but this was maybe 6 years or plus that I've done a vision board. But just like you said, I want to get to it. I want to put it into writing, put it into a visual aspect of what I have for this upcoming year, or this new year that we are, for you guys currently watching. But yeah, me too. I'm gonna write them down. And one of my goals, apart from it being obviously we want maybe materialistic things, for me, I would like a new car, I would like to buy a new house, but also something that I kept me in mind, it's I want to stay on top of my Bible. I want to stay on top of my relationship with God. I want to grow closer to Him. But I feel like one of the keys to make both aspects of spiritual and also personal is staying focused.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I feel like staying focused is key to be able to make that happen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like life in itself has so many distractions, in the church, out in the world, and it can be so easy to forget those goals. It can be so easy to, not talk to God that day, not read your Bible, not fast, and I feel like it's normal as humans because there is a lot of distractions, and I feel like some things catch our eyes, but I feel like if you just kind of go back to your roots, which is God, he can help you stay focused. He can help you to have that tunnel vision of just looking at him and then guiding you, and you will see that you will be able to accomplish all that. So what is some key things that helps you to stay focused?
It's crazy that you're saying all of this because I feel like recently I just feel like I've been feeling a little dismotivated, but it's not because I'm disconnected, but it's because I know that I could be connected more. You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like I keep beating myself up a little bit because I'm like, I know I can be doing more, but I'm not, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like a little war, you know, but I feel like the things that help me stay focused, obviously I'm encouraging you guys again to seek that personal relationship, you know, but I feel like I say a lot reading the Bible because reading the Bible is important, but here lately where I am right now, prayer. I feel like I've been slacking in prayer. Not that I don't talk to God, but I don't talk to God as much as I used to, you know?
Yeah.
And that's so easy to happen.
Right.
Like, you know, like I feel like this is my biggest enemy right now. Like I will spend hours on like watching YouTube videos or on TikTok, you know? When I can be literally, I could be going to sleep earlier, first of all, which I should be doing. And I could be praying for like an hour, you know, or reading my Bible more. There's times where I only read like a chapter and I'm like, I know that I could be doing better, but I'm not. And then I feel like that causes me to like I don't want to talk to God because I'm like, I feel guilty, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's ruining everything.
Yeah. And I feel like those thoughts can cause for your flow to stop.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say this example was because a pastor, I feel like I always mention him, but you guys should really check it out.
Jerry Flowers.
Jerry Flowers, yeah. He was talking about how it's like our spirit can be kind of like a river. You know, you have to let it flow, but sometimes it can get clogged up, you know, with like anything, you know, and that's the same thing with us. Like our spirit needs to keep on flowing from like head to toe, you know, flowing, but sometimes it can get clogged up. You know, it could be a distraction at work, it can be a distraction maybe with a guy or a girl, it could be school, it could be literally anything that can cause you to be clogged up, and sometimes we don't notice. You know what I mean? But if you let that, you know, hold back your flow, if you don't let your flow keep on like, you know, flowing,
the river keep
if you don't let the river keep flowing, then that can cause a disconnection, that can cause for you to become dry. You know what I mean? Because it's like, we always like to say it's like living water. Whenever you know, you come to receive living water, where he can be able to, you know, quench your thirst. You know what I mean? And so whenever you let the flow stop, you become dry, you become a little disconnected. And I feel like it happens, you know, it happens to the best of us. I know that it happened to me in the previous year, and that's something that I, you know, would not like to take with me with this next year. But at the same time, like, it starts with like equipping yourself for that. Like it starts with like making sure that, you know, it doesn't happen. Like it starts with analyzing yourself daily. Like, okay, how am I? Where am I with God? You know, have we talked today? Has this week maybe I've been a little bit distant? And being honest with yourself as well. Because sometimes we like to beat around the bushes and we're like, no, it's okay, because I know that's something that I've done. But I feel like
we all do it.
Yeah, we all do it, you know. But I just love how merciful and like kind God is that he kind of like puts a situation where he's like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like it can come from a tribulation. It can come with like not being able to sleep. And maybe God is like, well, it's because you didn't have time for me during the day, so talk to me now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's something that a lot of people point out. So that's why, like, you know, it's feels very beautiful that instead of God saying, nah, he doesn't want me, let me just walk away. No, he's like, hey, I'm right here, you know, trying to catch your attention, try to tell you like, hey, like I can help you out. Here's my hand. Like, you know, you don't have to hold that burden. You know, I can help you with that. So that's why like we need to take advantage of it now that we're in this grace period, because he's right there, you know, being our lawyer, being our doctor, our friend, our parent, and not take a advantage or not take it how can you say it not take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know, because everything has its, time.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a time when we won't have that extended towards us,
That's true.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy that you say all that, because I feel like, I mean, like I said, I'm in like I'm not disconnected, but I could be more connected. And I feel like it's like really it's kind of trying to mess with me. Well, obviously I'm trying to do better,
Yeah.
but I feel like I'm doing everything right, So I'm like it's easy to get distracted, or it's easy to get comfortable, because I'm doing everything right, but I know that something is wrong. Right. And that's part of me being real with myself, I'm being honest with myself and acknowledging that I could be more connected. I could just ignore it and be like, I'm doing everything right. I'm reading, I'm praying, I'm, going to church. I could be seeing it like that, but I'm not, because I know that there's something wrong, you know, and I'm allowing myself to acknowledge that, even if it makes me feel bad temporarily, I'm willing to fix it.
Yeah.
And something that I've been asking God right now is like, help me be sensitive to your spirit, help me see that you're here, and on Sunday I went to the altar for altar call, and I was just praying, and then I just started crying, and I just was reminded that he loves me, and I feel like this is things we know, like Jesus loves us, but when you're like feeling all these feelings and God is just like, I love you, it's like, whoa, and it like that, I feel like that was a moment like that just kind of like pushed me a little bit, like he still loves me, and I need to do better, and he's already showing me, like I always tell him, like lead me straight in my path, like I don't want to be comfortable, I don't want to be doing wrong, and I feel like that was just him, like, I'm right here, you were saying, I'm right here.
That is really beautiful, because even just that reminder that God loves you, which he does, like if you haven't been told, is like God loves you, and it's something so beautiful, because I feel like that takes us back to our vision to go towards him again, like, because I feel like sometimes the enemy makes us feel like, oh, he doesn't love you, like, there's no purpose of you pursuing a one-sided relationship, because in reality sometimes we can't see him, sometimes we can't hear him, but he's actually right there with you. And whenever he reminds you of like, I love you, it's just kind of like, whoa, like he's there, he's been there, he is there, and he will continue to be there, you know.
And I feel like when we're walking with God, like we go through so many trials and so many like storms that sometimes we're just feeling dry, we're just like, yes, we know God and we know that he's there, but I feel like you get so tired, you know, but like he's literally, he reminds you that he's there, and he wraps you in his love and his grace, his mercy, and he just gives you the strength to keep going, despite the storms. Like it's not always going to be trials and storms, but even then, like when things do start to change, because I feel like I'm in a season where things are shifting. They're shifting from trials and tribulations to blessings, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself, and I feel like it's causing me to like feel a little disconnected, because like I'm excited with everything going on, and it can be a distraction. Blessings can be a distraction, and I feel like I'm just learning, like right now I'm learning how to navigate my way through blessings, but like staying focused, keeping my eyes on God.
Yeah, because that's a good point how you said that sometimes whenever we are blessed, it can be a little like, not challenging, but maybe it can be, because even good and bad changes can be a little uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Because you're so used to like this routine that whenever God is like, here's a blessing, you're like, well, like, how do I react to this? Or sometimes it means that it has to take you out of your routine. Like now you have to do something different for it. But like, so I get what you mean with that aspect. But that was pretty good. Yeah.
No, and it's just crazy how like he's just with us, like And it's important to ask God, like, to help you. Like, something I was asking him earlier, I was on my way home and I was like, straighten my paths. You know, like, I don't want to be, because I had told y'all that purity has been in my heart, you know, and corruption has been in my heart too. And it's just like, I don't want to live corruptly. You know, I don't want, like, anything that, any generational curses that are trying to, like, stay. Like, I don't want any of that, you know?
Yeah.
And so I've been telling God, like, straighten my paths, you know, and purify my heart. And I guess I've just been trying to remember, like, my first love. You know, I'm trying to remember and keep that fire, you know, because it gets really hard. And I don't want to be stuck on the hard. Like, I want to be in love, you know. I want to be on fire. And I don't want that. I don't want the river to stop flowing, you know. And I feel like sometimes there can be, like, little rocks, you know, that kind of stop it, you know. You had said something like that. And I feel like it's normal. It's part of life, you know. But stay focused, you know, seek him and just be honest. I feel like that's the main goal. Like, be honest with him and with yourself, you know?
Yeah, that's really good. And I feel like you know, I feel like kind of going back to a previous episode, but we have to, like, sacrifice, you know, we have to stay focused even whenever we don't feel like it, because the flesh can have those moments where, like, sometimes we're like, ooh, you know, we want to go, we want to be there, we want to be the first and last to go. And sometimes you're like, man, I just kind of don't want to go, or I already just want to leave, you know, I just want to be in and out. Because I feel like it's reminding me of, like, my brother. So he's already starting his process of going to church, and he has been doing so. He's not perfect at it, but just like the times that he has been going, it feels very blessed. Because I texted him on a Wednesday and I told him, I was like, are you gonna go to church? And he replies yes. And I was like, okay, nice, you know. So we go and I, you know, go and pick him up and we go to church, right? But then I think it was the following day, I forgot what we were talking about, that it came up, and he told me that whenever I texted him if we're going to church, he wanted to say no so bad. He was like, no, like, I don't want to go. Like, you just feel like this feeling of not wanting to go, you know? And so, but then he was just like, why do I want to say no? Nothing happens. Like, just go. Like, he was saying this to himself, just go. Like, just, you know, go, and, you know, nothing happens. Get it over with, or whatever it is. But, you know, and so that's when he was like, and that's when I texted you yes. Because I see that nothing happens, that I just need to, like, conquer that feeling. And I told him this. I was like, you know, that is something that, like, even Christians till this day, you know, have that struggle. So, like, keep in mind that that feeling, sometimes it won't go away. You know what I mean? But you doing what you did is something that continue to do it. You know what I mean? Continue to have those thoughts, continue to have that desire to just, like, go against your flesh. You know what I mean? Because it won't always be that way. It's gonna be a day where you're gonna desire it. There's gonna be a day, like I said, like, you want to be there early and the last to leave. You want to serve, you know. But it takes, the first step is going against the flesh, against that no, and you pushing through and saying yes. So that's something that I encourage you, whenever you feel that maybe someone's inviting you to a church, a family member, a friend, to an event or a Bible study, you know, it is going to be like, I don't want to, like, I just want to stay in and watch movies, or I'm going to be too tired from work or school. You know, I encourage you to just say yes. And God is going to reward those yes. And I feel like that's going to start your river. God is going to start putting you that flowing water, that living water in you, and you're going to start desiring it. You're going to start, you know, craving it and wanting to be with him. And that's how it starts, you know, pushing through and telling your flesh, you know what, we're going to go. You know what I mean?
And there's a lot of excuses that you're gonna try to make, and I'm saying this because this happened to me this week. Like, I let the flesh win, which is something that I don't that I don't normally do, you know. But like I said, I was just, I don't know, and I didn't go, and I made all the excuses in the world, which that's why I was like, what's going on, you know? Like, I felt bad, but I didn't want to go, but I did, but I didn't, you know. It was literally like, I did want to be there, but I didn't want to be there.
That's crazy that you said that, because me and my mom, we literally went through that this last week as well. For Sunday, because, like, for me, in my job, we've had, I've been on vacation, so we've been having the days off since December 24th, and we won't go back until January 2nd. So because Christmas Eve was on the 24th, which is a Tuesday, prayer was canceled, and then on the 25th, service was canceled. We can be with our families. So technically, I've been home, I've been doing things, enjoying the days off, but I've also haven't gone to service. So obviously whenever that happens, you kind of forget, like, Friday doesn't feel Friday, Saturday doesn't feel like a Saturday. So I was already feeling it where I was like, oh wow, tomorrow's already church. I was like, why am I feeling this? Like, just not wanting to go, So I was just kind of like feeling like, oh, I just don't want to go. So I talked to my mom about it, and I told her, I was like, hey, like, I'm feeling this, like, I feel really bad. And she told me, she was like, I thought I was the only one. And she was like, I don't know why, like, obviously I do, like, every Sunday I do, but for some reason right now, just thinking of going, she was like, there was even a moment where I was like, should we just take a vacation and be like, even from church, but not like from God, but just like the physical aspect of going to church, you know what I mean? And so then we were like, no, like, just push it through. These are just, I don't know, maybe because we've been on like vacay mode, so maybe that's why, so it happens, like, even to this day, like, but it is kind of weird that it happens. You know what I mean?
I feel like warfare's been hard because it's the end of the year. I don't know, I've been thinking a lot because I feel like I've been feeling like I'm saying I'm not disconnected, but I've been feeling like a war type of thing. Like, I don't want to do anything, but I do want to do it. It's like literally a fight. That's why I literally started fasting. I've been in and out of fasting. I used to fast like for sure like once or twice a week. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I've been slacking in the fasting area. Like, there's times where I'll go, like, I literally fasted for like 3 days in a row, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. And like, every time I've been fasting lately, I've been trying to do like long fasts. But then I'm like, oh, I already fasted for like 4 days. Like, I'm good, And I feel like that's not true.
Yeah.
But I've been slacking. So as soon as I realized that all this was going on, I'm like, I need a fast.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what literally kills the flesh. And I literally allowed the flesh to win this week or last week, and I'm just like, what? Like, I felt bad. And I, like, obviously I didn't, it wasn't church, but it was something else that was really important actually, and I didn't go. And I don't know, it's just like, these things are gonna happen, your flesh is gonna win. But like, sorry, I'm all over the place, but these things are gonna happen. But remember that it's a war, like your spirit against the flesh, and sometimes the flesh is gonna win, because I mean, depending on what we feed our flesh, or if we're not, starving our flesh, then like, the flesh is gonna win, but it's normal, just keep seeking God, and don't let that guilt keep you from continuing to seek God, you know?
Because I feel like since we are in the new year, just like we mentioned, we have goals and we have things, that we want to accomplish. And sometimes we can, get discouraged, like sometimes we just want to stop. And the same thing with God, sometimes we're like, no, like, we get so hard on ourselves, or we're like, no, why should I even go? There's no reason to it. Why continue going on? But I feel like in those moments is whenever we just mention, like, push through and stay focused, because it happens to all of us. I feel like it's so easy to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna look for comfort somewhere else, and without realizing, like, the comfort is in God, an everlasting comfort that happens 24/7. Because if you go out there, there's gonna be some comfort, but it's gonna be temporary. You're gonna have to continue seeking it, because it's something that it's just like a high, that once you're up there you feel the best, but then you're always gonna come down.
That's true. And I feel like sometimes we get really caught up in doing everything right. This has happened to me a few times, where I'm like, well, I'm praying, I'm reading, I'm fasting, like, I'm doing everything right, like, all is well, but I feel like on Sunday when that happened to me, it's like none of that mattered.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I was just like, and I feel like it made my heart really happy because I was like I was feeling guilty, you know, like I wasn't feeling like guilty when I was up there. I was obviously praying, you know, but he just came and told me that he loved me, you know. Yeah. Well, not, you know, not literally, but he made me feel his presence. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, like nothing matters, you know, like he is here. I am loved. I am a child of God. Like nothing matters, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I seek his presence, because he has so much more to offer than what we can ask him, and especially in giving love, you know, like that's what he wants us to be, filled with his love, filled with his presence. And that is the gas that we need to continue going forward, spiritual goals and also personal goals, you know, because he wants us, he likes to see us, you know, accomplish those. He has, you know, great ministries for us. So whenever God puts that desire in us, it's because he wants us to put action to it, you know. So that's why, you know, it's very important to connect with him and listen to him, because he can guide you to your next ministry. He can guide you to your next goal of accomplishing in your, you know, work or in your personal life with your family, whatever the case may be. But it's always good, I feel like, whenever you do feel discouraged, or whenever you are, you know, maybe feeling a little bit distracted, you know, going back to what we said about doing vision boards and like writing down your goals, like go back to your journal, go back to your vision board, so you can have that reminder of like, oh, there's things that I need to work for, you know. And the only person that can help you with is God, you know. That's what we mentioned, you know, seek the kingdom, because then everything else will follow. So just go back to your vision board, pray about it, ask for strength, remember why you're in this walk, you know, remember, you know, what God put in you, because you have a great ministry in you. You have something that God sees that sometimes we ourselves don't see, but he sees it. So we need to continue forward, because it's also the same thing, maybe even with this podcast. Sometimes we feel discouraged. At least I know that I do. But I feel like I go back and just like remember the words that he gave me, and the reason why to start. You know what I mean? God is not going to put something in you to see you fail. You know, it's just the enemy that's filling you with those negative thoughts, you know. So that's why we continue going, because you're like, wait a minute. I mean, yes, it's amazing to be able to be used, but this is for God. You know, this is not a personal satisfaction. This is something for God. So that's why, like, that's what kind of like helps me. And that's why like those discouragements kind of like just come and go. Yeah. As fast as they come, as fast as they go, because we're like, oh wait, this is for God. Yeah. The, you know, the vision or the glory is to God. You know what I mean? So that's what helps me, because sometimes like as content creators, you know, in a secular aspect, you feel the pressure because it's you're the image, you're in front of it, you're the one that people are looking at. And what I love about this is that, you know, we're not influencers, we're instrument, and the vision and the eyes go towards God. Yes. You know, the praise goes towards God, you know. So yes, that was really good. And I feel like sometimes it's hard to remember like that it's for God, like not obviously not in the podcast setting, but like just like showing up to things. Like I go back to like when I didn't go this last week, and I'm like, I should have gone because it was for God, you know, but I didn't go, you know. And I feel like sometimes we can just forget like that it's for God, and we're like, well, I don't want to go, I don't want to, you know, be around these people, maybe even, you know. And it's like, it's not about that, it's not about the people, it's not about what you're doing, it's about God. And I feel like that's what made me feel guilty too, because I was like, it's like I'm passing God by, you know. And I'm like, I don't ever want to do that again. Like I did feel so bad, you know. But there's a lot of distractions in this world, you know, like our phones, social media can be a big one, you know, but even relationships or even a job or any hobbies, you know, like it's good to have hobbies, but don't idolize your hobbies. Don't idolize your relationships. Don't idolize social media, you know, like it's super easy for something that you really enjoy, a desire, to become an idol. Like it's really easy for it to switch, you know? So just be careful, you know? And obviously I'm not telling you don't have desires, you know, but stay focused, you know, stay focused and like
talk to God, you know. God will help you balance it all out. But he's always going to be there for you. He loves you so much, and he's never going to leave you. We're the ones that leave, you know, and I've said that before, but it's so true. Like, and he will always remind you that he's right there, you know, like he reminded me, you know. And I'm sure there's many other times that that's going to happen, because we are human. We're always going to fail, and we're not capable of being perfect, you know. But with that being said, you guys, this is the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that it spoke to your hearts. Guys, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye guys.